Welcome back to So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this episode, we are going to look at a quintessential Midwest emo band as we dive into the Get Up Kids. Forming in 1995 and hailing from Kansas City, this group is best known for helping to usher in the second wave of emo in the mid to late 90s. Since their start, the Get Up Kids have released a decent chunk of music, with their latest single coming as recently as this year. Their sound has evolved and changed since their inception, moving away from emo and opting for more of an indie alternative vibe. They like to claim that their music is not emo, but personally I find that to be a load of bullplop. With a catalog that is so varied and dense, it can be intimidating to know where to start, so allow me to introduce you to 2 albums and 3 individual tracks so you can finally get into the Get Up Kids. Just as we have done 99 times before, we're gonna start with the albums. The first record from the Get Up Kids that you must spin is their 1999 sophomore effort, Something to Write Home About. Ask anyone in the emo scene and I can all but guarantee that they like at least one song from this LP because, I mean, how could you not? Heinous pitchfork reviews aside, this is a passionate, pensive, and poignant collection of songs that are performed with an anxious energy that is still felt today. Opening up this record, we are given the emo pop hit, Holiday. Shooting out of a cannon, you're introduced to this group in a fun and snappy manner as ripping guitars and strained vocals jump to the foreground. I'd be hard pressed to find out that after a few listens, you also aren't shouting along to that absolutely infectious hook. One of the slower standouts comes in the form of Valentine. Sure, you got to experience the explosive side of Matt Pryor's vocals on Holiday, but Valentine is where you realize that the Get Up Kids can write some really gorgeous music. Pryor's vocals feel like warm butter being lathered on top of the delicate keyboard and crushing guitars as he laments a lost love. Another fantastic love song is 10 Minutes, however this isn't nearly as slow or contemplative as Valentine. The entire duration of 10 Minutes is a treat as the song moves perfectly from one section to the next, each adding their own flares and pizzazz. It's not the deepest song on the album, but it is one that's gonna get you up and dancing around like a fool as you grin from ear to ear. And remember, on this show, we salute the fun songs. Before we move to the next record, let's talk about the closing track, I'll Catch You. And what a beautiful note to end on, as this cut mixes both the quiet and loud that you've become accustomed to when listening to this LP. Pryor's yearning vocals feel the strongest here, as if this is his last-ditch attempt to win over a scorned lover. I'll Catch You is an emotional wave that crashes on top of you and drags you into the deepest depths of the sadness sea. When it comes to the Get Up Kids discography, it doesn't get much better than Something to Write Home About, so don't pass up this remarkable album. Next up, be sure to lend your ear to their 2002 LP, On a Wire. More laid back than Something to Write Home About, this record focuses less on emo bangers and more on elegant songwriting. Of course, the emo genre has its fingerprints all over this thing, but the soundscape itself is certainly different. Opening this project up is the lovely tune Overdue. The guitar and bass are thick and rich despite the feather-like vocal approach from Pryor. The vocal melodies are top-notch, acting as the proverbial glue that holds this track together. Once you hear this cut, my previous statements on the overall album will make a hell of a lot more sense, just trust me. Another song that deviates from the original understood formula is Let the Reins Go. When I first heard this track, I couldn't decide if the opening was lame or cool, but I've thus concluded that the latter is correct. The whole song feels like it's creeping and crooning, being expressed through both the instrumental and vocals. The bass in particular sounds immaculate and helps Let the Reins Go culminate into a perfectly enjoyable piece of music. One last song that I would like to touch on is Campfire, Kansas, which I would like to nominate as the most beautiful song in all of the Get Up Kids catalog. The simplistic and quaint approach only adds to this track's gorgeous outcome. Lyrics all about enjoying the little things while you can are hidden by the lo-fi, roughly recorded vocals. If the emo thing isn't for you, I would seriously consider trying out this track because I think it'll be an eye-opening experience. And the same can be said for On a Wire as a whole, so be sure to toss this baby on the next chance you get. Now that we're through with the albums, let's talk about some tracks. The first track to check out is No Love from the band's debut LP, 4 Minute Mile. Obviously one of the earlier songs in their discography, you get a great look at what's to come from the Get Up Kids. This is a fun one too, with a heavy-handed punk feel that still features layered vocals and a bangin' bass. Try as you might to stop yourself from singing the lines, I don't want you to love me anymore, because I simply think it's an impossible task. It's not the catchiest, but it is an instantly accessible tune, much like most of 4 Minute Mile itself. Just go spin this bad boy and report back. Another wonderful song from the Get Up Kids is The One You Want from their 2004 record, Guilt Show. This swanky cut is a hot one for sure, as it's entirely inviting and approachable. The instrumentation is second to none, incorporating pop concepts that lend well to the song as a whole. The lyrics are angsty, but man, you wouldn't know it from the sound of the instrumental. The One You Want is definitely a track that you'll be coming back to, so don't wait any longer. Finally, let's talk about The Problem Is Me from their 2019 release, Problems. I know that I try to be as objective as possible when I make these videos, but I'm gonna be real with you, these last two albums that they've produced are really not good. I mean, obviously, go out and listen to these records if you would like. Do not let me be the deterrent from you finding new music, but personally, I would not be touching these or rules again with a 10-foot pole. Now, with all that being said, The Problem Is Me is the promised oasis buried deep in the desert that is these two records. There's nothing crazy going on here, it's just a very fun and nice tune. Yet another love song, the band approaches this one with maturity and class, showing off why they should still be writing music this late into their careers. The production and mixing are clean without being overdone, making this a pleasant listen every time. Maybe I'm just pining to find something good from their later material, but I'm fairly certain that The Problem Is Me is a solid track that you'll end up enjoying. Why don't you just go and give it the old college try? And that will conclude my video covering the Get Up Kids. Not only that, but that also concludes the 100th episode of So You're Interested In. I would like to thank each and every one of you, from the people who were here since the beginning to the people who are viewing me for the first time. All of your support throughout the years has been awesome, and I plan on doing this for at least another 100 episodes. For those of you who are brand new to this channel though, I would like to let you know that links to all the albums and tracks discussed here are located in the video description box below. Scroll down even further to the comment section where you can let me know if you like the albums or tracks that I picked here. Maybe you're a huge Get Up Kids fan and you thought that I completely trashed this list. That's fine. Go to the comments, let me know, start a discourse, and I'll be sure to respond. You can also suggest any artists you'd like to see covered on this show. Just know that I do have a bit of a backlog built up, so if I don't get to it right away, it's nothing personal. I'm probably working on it. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every single week, along with shows like Stacks of Wax, Where It's At, The Variety Show. I'm putting a lot of random shit on this channel, so go ahead and watch it if you like it, and if not, leave a comment and let me know how I can change it for the better. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up the 100th episode of So You're Interested In. Of course, aside from my usual reminders for you to go out and support your local record store if you are able to, along with the local artists in your area, and, well, until I see you next time, happy listening.